Hey again, guys. I'm sorry. I was just doing a video and it cut off, so I think I'm gonna have to start again with where I was. So one of the things that I wanted to do was go over some of the map skills, because we haven't had a chance to really look at those very much, and it's not something that's super like get it done necessary, but I would like you to look at them for fun, give you like a brain break every once in a while, because I know you guys love coloring in the maps and filling in the different things. But today we were going to be talking about what we use maps for. We don't have to use maps just to find how to get to the next city or the next town or the next state or to get throughout the United States. Maps sometimes are just used in a certain small section, like a zoo or a park, and you can use a map to show you how to get around that zoo or that park. And many times when they have those, they also have, with those smaller maps, they also have a map key. A map key shows pictures to represent what is there in that park or in that zoo. So if you turn in your history books to page 470, page 470, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's map skills and key. A globe is the most accurate way to look at the world because it is a sphere, but you cannot keep a globe in your desk. So a flat map works best. Maps of the world are not as accurate as globes are because globes are round and maps are flat. And think about trying to flatten a ball. If you flatten a ball, it's not going to flatten correctly and things are going to get distorted. They're not going to look exactly right. Well, that's what happens with a map. If we were to try to have a map of the world, it would be distorted in some way. No matter how we do it, it's going to be a little distorted. So maps showing smaller areas are usually more accurate. So we're going to practice our map skills. Look at this map of a small town. You can see the streets, you can see all the little circles with things in them. Well, when you look over at the map key, that tells you what each of those circles represents. If you had never been to this town, you could look at this map to find out where you are and where you need to go. Maps usually have small pictures or symbols that stand for real things. We can use these symbols to find things on a map. A map key tells you what the symbols on the map mean. So look at the map key and see if you can find each of those items on your map that you have. You've got your river, your park, your lake, your church, your fire station, your forest, your library, your store. Look for each of those things and see if you can figure out where it is on the map. And that's what a map key does. It shows you where specific things are. And you're going to be seeing that in your page today that we're going to get to for skill sheet. And then on page 471, we've talked about these before, your compass rose, which shows you your directions, north, south, east, west, but not just that. It also shows you that between north and east is northeast, between south and east is southeast, between south and west is southwest, between north and west is northwest. So it gives you many different directions that you can find. And then we also talked about the grid. And at page 471, when you're looking at the bottom there, it says, how do we use our grid? Put your finger on the letter A over to the left side of the grid. Slide your finger across to number 4. And when you do that, you land in box A-4. Once you're in the box A-4, you can tell what that is representing, what animals are in that box. Good. Giraffes are in box A4, and that's an important thing for you to be able to recognize how to use your grid box to figure some things out. So on Map Skill Sheet 21 in your Map Skills book, your little small Map Skill Sheet booklet, Map Skill Sheet 21, there's a mall map. Yes, love the mall. And that mall map is showing you all the different parts of a mall. So it's a smaller map showing things to smaller scale. And then you have your map key. And right above your map key is your compass rose. And you're going to be using your compass rose, your map key, and the map to be able to answer the questions at the bottom of the page where things are. It even gives you colors for which shops are apparel or clothing, which are food, which are services, which are specialty, where the ATMs, elevators, exits, handicaps, restrooms, stairs, water fountain, where all those things are. And you're going to use that to help you. I want you to look at question number 4 at the bottom. Some people have missed this before. The taco stand is west or east of the coffee shop. And so people look and they're like, oh, the coffee shop is east or west. And so then they circle something completely different. It's asking, where is the taco stand in comparison from the coffee shop? So if we left the coffee shop, are we going east or west to get to the taco stand? So just use that one. I think the rest of them are pretty easy to be able to figure out. Think carefully as you're working through and just reading them very carefully. Go from the one to the other. The other one, sorry, the burger stand. The burger stand is southeast or southwest of the perfume. So you're looking at where the burger stand is from the perfume area, and then you figure out which one that would be, okay? Then map skills sheet 22. I have this up here, but I'm not going to bring it closer because last time I did that, I ended up messing up and stopping the video before I wanted to. But all I have up here is just a little scale. And the scale says 1 inch equals 1 mile. And you'll see that on your page today, and it'll be easy to figure out. But when we have a map that is smaller, especially when it's a map of a larger area, if it's a map of like a huge park or a huge place, we need to understand how far it's going to take us to get somewhere. So when you're looking at map skills 22, you'll see at the bottom it says 1 inch equals 1 mile. So that means when you are measuring right from one dot to the next dot, whatever the number of inches there are, that's the number of, yes, you got it, that's the number of miles that it would be in reality. Because obviously, if you're on this map, it's not going to take you, 3 inches to get to the beach from the cabins or something like that, okay? Obviously, you're not going to go 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go 5 inches. No. So it's going to show a small distance for what would be a much longer distance in real life. So looking at those very carefully, let's do just the first one to make sure you're understanding. How far is the hiking trail from the boys' cabins? So you're going to look the hiking trail and the boys' cabins and use your ruler to measure. And what you should have gotten was 2 inches, which means it's going to be 2 miles. Very good. So the hiking trail from the boys' cabins is 2 miles. So you're going to be measuring each of those things that it's asking you. Think carefully, okay? Then map skills sheet 23 is where we're supposed to be for today. So again, this is not like you have to do this today, but if you get a chance and want to take a brain break and do just some fun map things, this is something you can do. So use the map in Map Key to answer these questions. And what they did is they took Arizona and they blew it up so that you could see it easier. So look at we have our map, we have our map key, and your compass rose at the top. So you're just going to be answering the questions. What is the capital of Arizona? And how we find the capital is with the circle with the star inside. And then you can write that answer in there. Then it says, if I wanted to go from Flagstaff to Phoenix, which interstate highway would I use? So look at the interstate highway little picture under the map key, and then figure out from Flagstaff to Phoenix, which interstate are you going to use to do that? There's Interstate 40, there's Interstate 17, there's Interstate 10. So you're going to answer that. The number 3, London Bridge was moved to what city in Arizona? So you can see the picture of London Bridge in a certain city, so you're going to write that. What direction is the Grand Canyon from Tucson? So if you're coming from Tucson, which direction would you go to get to the Grand Canyon? Then the Apache Indian Reservation is blank, south or west of the Navajo Indian Reservation. So Apache, is it south or west? Then what river runs through the Grand Canyon? So looking at the Grand Canyon, you'll see that there's a river that's going right through it. Then what interstate highway would you take to get from Tucson to Casa Grande? So you're just going to answer those questions. I just thought that would be a fun review for you to be able to do, since we haven't had much time in our map skills booklets. But go ahead and fill some of those in. That will help you to remember some of your maps, and it gives you something fun to do for a break. All right, have a good day.